Hello everyone, myself Michael Ravina, Associate Professor, Department of Computer Science and Engineering. The subject is CS 3492 Database Management Systems and the unit is Database Transactions. The topic is two-phase locking. Locking protocols. A lock is a variable associated with the data item that derive the status of the items with respect to the possible operations that can be applied to it. Locking is an operation which secures permission to read, permission to write a data item for a transaction. For example, lock of X means data item X is locked in behalf of requesting transaction. Unlocking is an operation which removes these permissions from the data item. Next, unlock of X. Unlock means data item X is made available to all other transactions. Lock and unlock are atomic operations. This is the matrix for lock. Read and write lock. That means read of, suppose if if the read is made, read lock is made. That means read lock is made. One item is readed, then it is locked. Then another one item can read only that item, cannot write. That is read write is not allowed, read is allowed. And same time read one item is locked on write, then that item is read but not allowed to write. Okay, this is the meaning of this particular matrix. Then lock manager. Lock manager is responsible for managing locks on the data item. Lock table, that means lock manager uses the lock table to store the identity of the transaction locking a data item. The data item, lock mode and pointer to the next data item is locked. One simple way to implement a lock table is through the linked list. There are two types of locks. First one is the binary lock, then second one is the read or write. That means share or exclusive lock. Binary lock means it can have two states. One is 0, another one is 1. 0 means unlocked, 1 means locked. Lock value is 0, then the data item can be accessed when requested. When the lock value is 1, the data item cannot be accessed when requested. Then read and write lock. Read lock is also called shared mode lock. That means if a transaction TA has obtained a shared lock on a particular data item, then the TA can read but cannot write item. This is the in this way the matrix says about the particular read and write lock. Outer transaction also allowed to read the data item but cannot write the data item. Next one is the two-phase locking protocol. In this two-phase locking protocol requires each transaction is issue lock and unlock request in two phases. First one is a growing phase, then second one is a shrinking phase. Growing phase, during the growing phase, the new locks can be occurred but none of these released. But in the shrinking phase, during the shrinking phase, which existing locks can be released and no new locks can be occurred. This is the shrinking phase. The example for two-phase locking. First, the transaction T1, the growing phase is from steps 1 to 3. That means here the locks are made only. Shrinking phase is the steps from 5 to 7. this all for transaction T1. And here the log point at the step 3. That means all items are logged here. The log point means the point at which the growing phase ends. When the transaction takes the final log, it need to the carry on to the another work. Its work. Next one is the T2. T2 transaction growing phase is steps 2 to 6 and shrinking phase is the steps 8 to 6. This is the two-phase locking concept.